to Knucklehead Comics Tuesday. It's fucking Tuesday. We got Lay in the building. We got Cap in the building. Cabs can't make it tonight, but he's here in spirit. On Lay.
My man, just chilling, brother, chilling.
What's up, Cap? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Is that? And the father goes shamefully, that's my son. And the other guy goes shamefully, Orion goes, that's my father. Choose fear and hate to run your life. Something you can't do. That was wrong with me from the beginning. I was doing it that way. I was gonna go down that path. I worried.
You thought it was Grayson?
Sorry, got hurt. It's like not him. Not him.
Crack his brain for somebody, anybody that can help, and remembers. Freeze.
The media.
Randall Savage.
Randall Savage. With his knowledge and all other shit, and his capacity to learn.
Absolutely.
This is the only vegan I'll ever eat is grilled chicken wings, because that's like vegan to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the chicken wings are supposed to be fried, but you grill the chicken wings, you put it in some sauce, and give it some blue cheese. Is vegan. That's vegan. Like regular moo cow fuck milk. Put it in some Honey Nut Cheerios. Vegan, because Honey Nut Cheerios is good for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Can I steal the question from Cabs?
I got it right.
I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal.
You're too late.
Wow.
I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Here I go, I get lit, I get hyped for this shit! That's right.
Word. He be like, I got a left elbow and a right elbow. I can break your face with an any elbow. Make sure that you get elbowed in your elbow with an elbow. Got the arm ball, get the phone ball, get around with the bomb with the bomb ball.
That is gonna take you to Jersey Shore.
Yo, 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 yo. It's Tuesday. NukkleHead Comics. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is how we do it in these streets. It's Toe Tags and Cap in the building. We got another another issue of the NukkleHead Comics out here. Cap, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, and just counting down until we just get kicked off of YouTube again for copyright infringement.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? Pro is in the building.
Got Pro in the building.
Uh-oh. He's ready for you. He's ready for you. Next week, got the epic showdown between Cap and Pro.
I'm telling you guys got to watch all the shows. Watch all the shows. You never know what's sprinkled throughout.
Cup of coffee, baby. Yeah. But yeah, man, we got a banger. We're gonna put Charles Xavier on court. We're gonna see if this guy was really as good as most people think he was.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna do what the kids say. Put him on blast.
There you go. See? We're getting younger and younger by the second. But before we do that, we always got the question of the day. We always talk shit. We always talk about this and that. It's not always about one subject on this channel. So, Cap, you have any questions of the day? You have anything you want to say?
Shit. Questions of the day. No. I spent all day doing work and looking up shit for the topic. Which by the way, I had a fucking brain fart this morning. I had to do my initial paperwork 3 times. Because I did one in yesterday's date I did one in today's date. Both of those are wrong, and then I did one in tomorrow's date, which is the correct way.
That sounds about right. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta be today, tomorrow, and yesterday, all in one, all in one day.
Yeah.
But hey, man, we out here. we live now. We got The Last of Us, which this week's episode was. I know me and Cab spoke about it. This week's episode was crazy.
This is probably the best episode.
Yeah, and we got to see acrobatic fucking
Yeah, it was a gymnast fucking clicker.
yeah, gymnast clicker, and then we got the juggernaut,
The bloater.
clicker. Yeah, that motherfucker was destroying people. And yo, listen, I know I always talk shit about She-Hulk, but you know what? This week ain't gonna be any different. The Last of Us spent 20 minutes showing me why this woman needs to die, and when she dies, it was satisfying. She-Hulk had 13 episodes, 9 episodes, and they couldn't make me give a shit about anybody but fucking Matt Murdock, who already I was invested in for 3 seasons in another fucking TV show.
Yeah, but that's unfair because that episode or that character was designed to show what happens when you think you have to go to the same level of depravity as the people who were doing harm to you. Because all she did was there was a bad regime with the Fedra agents, and all she did was plant them. And now she took over not only just the town, but she took over in their fucking evil ways. And she paid the price at the end because her brother was right. Should have forgave. I honestly believe she didn't have a fucking plan because it was only 10 days from when they won and killed Fedra to when she got killed by the fucking gold medalist clicker.
But yeah, I mean, her plan was pain. That's what it was. It was straight up pain. She only wanted to catch the people who was ratting on them. Which, that's another thing I don't get. Like, when you really sit there and think about it, like you said, she just took one suppressor and changed it for another regime that's gonna, suppress people again. But these people needed shit to live. Like, what did you expect? The survival? What you wanted? Everybody to die so that way your brother could fucking lead people to a revolution? Who is he gonna save if everybody's dead?
Yeah, dude. The big thing was when she told Henry, he's like, "Oh, you did all that to save Sam. Don't you think, is it possible he was meant to die?" And I'm like, "But lady, isn't it fucking possible your brother was meant to die?"
Right?
Like, what the fuck is the difference?
Word.
This is the thing. Her brother was the Jesus character, was the guy everybody fucking followed. He's the guy who everybody believed in. He did no wrong. Okay, this is a fucking kid. This kid did absolutely nothing. He's already deaf. Now he's got leukemia. He did absolutely nothing to deserve any of this.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna let his brother die just to live by their fucking revolution.
Yeah, it's not like he sold her out and he had fucking Jeffrey Dahmer with him.
Yeah, he's like, you got a fucking filet mignon because you sold out her brother. You got fucking leukemia medicine for your brother. You saved your brother's life by ratting this dude out, and then it's like.
He didn't quite save it at the end, but he prolonged it.
No, yeah. I mean, in the situation, he saved it when he was there.
Yeah, and for anybody who thinks we're talking spoilers, the fucking game came out how many years ago? They're following the game, so fuck off.
No, but here's the thing though. Watch the shit. It comes out Sunday. You had the whole weekend to watch it. This shit came out Friday night.
Yeah, because of the Super Bowl, it came out 2 days earlier.
Yeah, so there you go. So eat dick and die. Taquan, Ray. What the fuck? What's the name of your fucking headphones? Ray Buds?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Raycons.
Raycons. There you go. Laquan, Taquan, Raycon. All the cons. What's going on, bro?
I would grab them, but they're too far away and I'm lazy.
Last of Us presents Black Trauma in February. It's funny how the Black History Month episode shows 2 black guys dying by the hands of the white woman, the real suppressor, on Valentine's Day.
Nah, but that was, well, I'm not going to get into all the other stuff because, I can't speak on any of that. But them dying there was a point to it. This is the ultimate question. Like, he did all that shit to save his brother. And at the end, he had to put a bullet in him and a bullet in himself. So now it's a real question. I'm doing all this to save Ellie. Is this going to be worth it?
Yeah. I mean, bro, at this point, it's no longer you doing all this to save Ellie. Now you're getting where you're going. You're on a mission. You can't turn back. You pass the point of no return the minute you sacrifice your partner for this girl. You know what I'm saying? The minute you sacrifice your partner. By the way, up here is the QR code, a link to all of the social medias and videos and all the other bullshit that we got here. Go fucking get your gear, get your shirt. Get a fucking shirt. This is Knucklehead Comics on it, just so that way you know what fucking show you watching, why you watching it, assholes. All right, stop fucking around. Don't make me get glay on you.
And to that point of the thing, that the comment that's out there, when done correctly, there's a point to all deaths.
Yeah, right.
You extrapolate what you want from what I just said, because those words put together in a sentence, not how I didn't intend anything behind it. I just said words.
Shit, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. This episode, like a lot of these episodes, when you first watch them, you're like, yo, are they fillers? But it's kind of like we're actually watching someone play the video game live action.
Dude, if you watch the breakdown, the place they go into the tunnel that was all painted, that's in the game. Almost accurate to the paint. The thing they found on the inside, that's in the game. The pictures are all depicted from the same. When he's up in the house and he's picking off things as Ellie's running around, that's part of the game. There's a part of the game where you're Joel and you gotta snipe motherfuckers to keep Ellie safe as she's running around on the bottom.
That's crazy. I made mention to one of my guys at work, and I was saying how it kind of feels like Joel, the Mandalorian, is the main character, right? You're playing as him, so you're seeing the game in his eyes. But Ellie so badly wants to be the main character. Like, she's waiting for her turn for you to play with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like she wants to be the main character. Like, yo, like she wants her own little mission that she goes on, you know? Like, she's not just a side there, because you can play as her, right? You do play as her at one point?
Full disclosure, I have not played these games. I believe in the first game, you do play as her at a certain point. And I believe in the second one, it's all her, I believe. Because the things that I won't get into and I won't spoil for anybody.
Yeah. Because the white man... Nah, I'm just fucking with you. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely an interesting show. And we got to see all those damn... are they zombies or are they just fucking infected?
No, they're infected. They're fungal infected. So you have the dead, the infected.
Yo, what's going on?
Then they turn into clickers. Then they turn into bloaters. So the people with like the mushroom faces.
Yeah.
After 10 years, they turn into bloaters. Big Hulk motherfucker. Then I don't know if anything comes after that. Because like I said, I haven't played the game, but
okay,
we'll see.
Okay. Shit. so far this shit is tense without even having any zombies out. Because every time they go into some place, I'm like, fuck, man, there's about to be one of these motherfuckers popping out. Look, that fucking acrobatic zombie fucking around, flipping and shit in the back seat. Like, you could tell that zombie, when it was a human, had strict parents. Like, it wasn't allowed to move in the backseat because the first chance it got, that shit got in the car and started jumping all over the fucking place. Fucking asshole just gonna jump and shit all over the place. Oh, no, you do play as Ellie.
Yeah. Dude, there's 2 examples now that we have. The Last of Us, who are sticking extremely close to the game, making some necessary changes as you have to when you adapt from one medium to the other.
Yeah.
But they're using the same dialogue. They're using same scenes, almost shot for shot fucking thing. They're staying close to it. And it is fucking unbelievable how good the show is. Then we finished watching the 2nd season of Legends of Vox Machina on Amazon, which they stick to the same scene. They stick to the same dialogue. They stick to the same dice roll. They make the necessary changes that they need to from one, from adapting one medium to another. And again, mind-blowingly fucking awesome. Why? Because they stuck to the thing that everybody liked.
The historical documents. We've been saying this shit for years. And now all of a sudden, they do it and it fucking works. Who'd have thought that if you told a story that was already told before and you told it the right fucking way, it wouldn't suck?
Or who would have thought if you make a story and 15 people read it and go, oh shit, that's cool. Then you adapt the story so more people could see it, but you adapt the story that the original people loved. You get more people to go, oh wait, that story's cool. These people were right.
And not only that, do you get people interested in playing the fucking game?
Yeah.
Shit. I remember one of my coworkers, she was listening to the podcast and I was telling her stories about, different characters and their shit. And she goes, that's mad interesting. That's actually something that I wouldn't mind reading. I was like, you see, and you thought these comic books were for fucking kids, but they're not. There's some real grown-up shit that's happening in these fucking comic books. And not for nothing, if a kid did read this shit, it'll learn how to fucking, see the world as it is without having to go through all that pain. And then 2, it would also teach some kind of fucking compassion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just a bunch of fucking people on an island looking for love and having fake shit so they could get pussy and win money. See, George about to play it for the 3rd time. Shit. The Last of Us. The Last of Us and the one that's left. Genius. She-Hulk, not so much. Yeah.
You gotta let it go, man. You gotta let it go. It's over.
I'm like, which one was that? Q? And Impractical Jokers? On the boat?
Oh no, that's Sal.
I'm like, Sal on the boat. I will never forgive you. Shit. You had the most hype for a character that can literally do anything. And you do nothing. She-Hulk is starting. I'm gonna have to watch it again, but it's starting to become like the movie The Happening, where nothing happened, and the movie The Knowing, where no one knew shit.
Yeah, you're a masochist, bro. You want to just sit through that again?
I got to, because I feel like they bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. They fucked around. It's like they designed that show to be binge watched, and anybody who watched that shit weekly, there was a big fuck you. Like if you binge watch it, it's a different show than if you watch it weekly. The motherfuckers on Valentine's Day, they're gonna turn around and tell us to go fuck ourselves. At a time like this, green women, you don't fucking do that shit to green women, motherfucker. Tell them, Taquan. Taquan, no. Fuck around, find out. And on that note, this weekend, is it tomorrow?
Well,
Ant-Man comes out, or is it Friday? Official release.
official release, I think Thursday midnight showings, but Friday is the
Ant-Man Quantum Mania. We're gonna see the
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania 3000.
Yeah, we got our ticket for Saturday.
Yep, and they said this is gonna be just like X-Men Days of Futures Past.
Oh, if it is, then I will tell you my fucking review already.
It's the Star Wars of Marvel. What they're saying? That's what Cab said. They said.
Yeah, I was obviously too sick to interject myself.
Yeah,
because I was not only sick, but I had taken some medication, and it kicked in right as the show started. I was
right by the room.
Like, in my head, I was talking, but obviously I was just staring at a camera. But to elaborate on that, I think what they mean by it's the Star Wars of Marvel is Star Wars is an epic, what they call space opera, where it's all about, a big story in space. It's an epic scope. We have to go do this thing to stop this thing. Laser swords, all that shit. I think that's what this is. That it's not like ground level, let's fight everybody. This is out there, space opera. We're in the shit that we don't recognize is going crazy.
Okay, but in the quantum realm, because if they were in space, then we were fucking lied to. This is gonna be Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness all over again. There was no multiverses, there was no madness, and then now we got Quantum Mania. There's no mania, and there's no quantums.
All right.
Even if we get the quantum level of amount of quantumness in this movie, we need some quantum.
All right.
Ask Neil deGrasse Tyson what I just fucking said. That sentence makes sense to the core.
To someone somewhere, yeah. No, it's going to be in the quantum realm. It's not actually in space. It's just a fucking term.
Word. And now I want to see.
Don't become slow on me.
Now I want to see Peter Dinklage fucking singing.
What?
And I want to see his character be singing like it's a space opera. Quantum opera. I want to see singing from Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
Sure. Yo, how you know that giant elf wasn't put in the quantum realm?
Because he's up in Niflheim, I believe is what they called it.
How you know Niflheim is in another fucking part of the quantum realm?
No, because that's in space. They've established where that is.
So now when we get to space in this movie, he's there already.
Okay, there was other trailers, folks.
Yeah. If I don't fuck with him, who will? You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. You want to leave Cabs and Lay want to leave us alone, and this is what the fuck happens. By the way, they won't be here tonight due to Tuesdays.
Due to Valentine's Day and other previous engagements.
Or some people, as the French call it, WrestleMania. Tuesdays happen on a weekly basis. And this Tuesday just so happened to be one of those Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? So, The Flash. I don't know why I thought this was going to be called The Flashpoint.
I don't know why you thought that either. Maybe it's because we knew that they were adapting the Flashpoint story.
Yeah, everybody called this the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, that's just a working title, though. That's not. That wasn't the actual title.
Well, the shit didn't work. Ezra Miller's still in there. They didn't change that.
Yeah. Well, do you want my thoughts on it, or are you gonna?
Yeah. Let's hear your thoughts on it because we already know, our thoughts on Shim. What is he? It.
They
We know
them.
that them. We hate them, and we don't want them in that shit no more. So go ahead. Let's hear your thoughts.
So I'm not gonna describe the trailer. You guys can go see it, but I'm not gonna lie. The trailer looks fucking awesome. The movie looks fucking good. It looks like they actually like Ezra actually honed in and found Barry Allen for this movie. It looks like Michael Keaton came back and was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to have a time of my life here. I'm Batman. It looks like they're actually taking Supergirl and taking her seriously. And it looks like this is an epic fucking scope of a movie. So all the reports that I've been saying that all the screen testings have been overwhelmingly positive, looks like from the trailer that it's true. Now the question on everybody's mind, am I still standing with my I'm not going to see this in the theater? Yes. I'm not going to fucking see it in the theater. I have HBO Max, and when it comes out on HBO Max, 4 months later or whatever, I'll check out the fucking movie.
Word.
Now you only saw the TV spot for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I only saw the little bit.
What'd you think?
Who is the girl that's playing Supergirl?
I gotta look that up.
Well, I'm looking her up now. Sasha Kali. She born in 1995. I'm trying to see if she was in The Young and the Restless, but there was no. There's no.
Yet another show we watch here in this house.
Yeah. There's no movie that I can recognize it from.
No, I think this is like her big role. The one that can make or break her.
Okay. Well, it's crazy because it doesn't look like she could be related to Henry Cavill. So now they're definitely gonna have to get another Superman.
Why? They're cousins. First off, our cousins don't look like us.
But they could have.
But they don't. They don't look like us.
Yeah, but we're humans. These are Kryptonians.
Who are based on human. It's still separate people made two different things. Like,
hey man, they all look alike after a while. Shit, you ever seen Superman and another Kryptonian male in the same room together?
Yeah, on the Superman show, when him and his half brother were in the same room, and you want to talk about not looking alike. I'll believe me and you are fucking identical twins before I believe those two are brothers.
That's true. Well, that was the CW. No one saw W there.
I don't know how Clark came out like fucking white cornbread, and his brother came out bangers and mash from fucking England.
That's true. But I mean, I saw it, and it did look good. And it was cool to see Michael Keaton in that commercial. But it's kind of like also it would have been dope to see just a silhouette, and then Michael Keaton comes out in the movie. It was like, oh, it's him. We know it was him.
I believe they did that just to show us what the suit would look like beforehand. So now that we see, the suit, his rubber suit works for today's aesthetic. Now we can go in and be like, oh, cool, all right.
I mean, shit. In that Batman, the rubber suit looked like it was futuristic.
Yeah, but that was 1989. Everything looked futuristic. The Batmobile looked futuristic.
That Batmobile looked sick, though. That shit was still the best. That has to be the best looking Batmobile in any of the verses. The Snyderverse, the Kanye West verse. Yeah, all of them shits.
I don't know. I kind of like the Tumbler. The Tumbler makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna have a tactical vehicle that's gonna do some shit, that makes more sense than a than a car that's 10% cockpit and 85, 90% fucking engine room. What?
You never heard of a V28? Shit. That shit runs off of Stark tech. It uses the Stark reactor and fucking
The Deutsch proposition.
yeah, vibranium and all that other shit. You want Seth Rollins boots. You want the what was that? The Grandpa Smurf boots? With the red boot. Did you see that yesterday?
No.
He had these big ass rubber boots that looked like he was Mario. Big ass red rubber boots.
Okay.
I don't get it either, but
Hey. Whatever, man.
it's Fashion Week apparently in New York, where everyone shows how fashionless they are. Because that's all I see. People going there looking stupid. With like, I don't know about you, but why is everybody's motivation? Let's just get some shit from a homeless person or a fucking cartoon and throw it on people and call it fashion.
Dude,
You want
don't
some
look at
real
me
fashion?
for fashion, man. You know, I lived most of my life in a sherbet orange room.
Hey,
that I
listen,
did not
yeah.
paint.
Listen, man,
I
I live
feel
my
good.
life a quarter mile at a time. All I know is if you want some real fashion, what you do is you click on this link right here, you scan the link right there, and you get yourself one of the Knucklehead shirts, and you'll be fucking looking good for the rest of your life. Guaranteed to be a shirt when you get it. If it's something else when you get it, then you bought the wrong thing. No returns. No.
Guaranteed to be a shirt, or we still keep your money.
That's right. Shit. No returns. No warranties. No give backs. You fucked up. We can't help you. In the case of you getting the wrong thing,
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
and then get the fuck out of here and buy another one. It's hard out here for a pimp. I got kids to feed. They're all in Africa. It's 79 cents a day. In
All right.
the arms of an angel.
All right, we're gonna swing this thing back now.
Yeah. Now
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Guardians,
that
see,
also
yo,
dropped.
perfect segues if you've ever seen one.
Sure. Yeah, just like the mall cops. That's the kind of segue we just did.
Yeah. See? Shit. But Guardians of the Galaxy. That shit, yo. I know James Gunn ain't doing another one. But this seems like this is going to be the end.
Well, so this is going to be the end of this iteration of the Guardians. They can make another version of the team, which is probably what they're going to do at some point. But this seems to be cheating. This seems to be like the Marvel, for some reason now, for this new Phase 5, or for the last few movies, seem to have gone, let's do a bullshit one, an emotional one that's got nothing to do with shit. It's just an emotionally good movie. A bullshit one, an emotionally good one that's got nothing to do with shit. A bullshit one that might be Ant-Man, and then an emotional one now with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hey, Ant-Man might change the mold and it won't be bullshit. It'll be a good one.
I'm not walking in with any expectations. I'm gonna go sit down and let the movie tell me what it wants to tell me.
Yo, all I'm saying is if we walk into this fucking movie theater and I see Martha and Thomas Wayne walking in an alley, getting shot, and the pearls hitting the floor, I'm walking out.
Wait, for Ant-Man? Or for Flash?
Yeah. Both of them. Both of them. We don't need to see them. No, we see them die more than fucking Kenny.
Kenny from South Park, not Kenny the Color.
Yeah.
All right, Vin's iPhone says, "Can it call up?"
In the Callop. my phone is from Boston. Apparently, one of that shit sucks. But anyway, yeah. I mean, Groot. Who do you think is gonna? Well, Drax has to go because he ain't playing. Batista's not playing Drax anymore. But then again, in the comics,
Star-Lord
they
gotta
did.
go.
Who? Star Lord.
Star-Lord. Because
Yeah,
Chris Pratt's now on the DC side.
true. But so Drax, they could potentially do what they did in the comics and just change his form and make someone else Drax and change his memory and just have him go after somebody else instead of for Thanos.
They could,
Maybe
but there's other members of the Guardians that you could put in there. Adam Warlock can now be the leader of the Guardians. You could put Vance Archer, Major Victory in there. You could put some of the people who were in Stallone's team.
yeah. But who stays? Nebula?
Nebula, I think, could stay. Mantis, I think, would stay. You can keep Rocket because I mean it's just a voice. Groot could stay. It's just a voice.
And it's not Vin Diesel's voice anymore.
Doesn't have to be.
Well, technically, this isn't the same Groot as the original. This is
Yeah.
a different Groot. What is it? Groot's son or Groot's nephew or some shit?
I don't know how trees work when they when another one shows up.
Yeah. I know there's photosynthesis in echolocation somewhere. But yeah. So basically we're just getting rid of all of James Gunn's people. Chris Pratt and Batista.
Well, Batista got rid of himself. He said, "I'm done."
Because he's a serious actor now.
We'll see. I still haven't seen Knock at the Cabin yet. But he was good in the first 15 minutes of Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, that's true. He was good. He made me feel like he was a cyborg. Like he meant that shit. But yeah, so what besides the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, what is this supposed to push? I guess we're gonna find out at the end of Ant-Man, right? Because the cutscene got to do something.
Well, like I said, this is gonna be like Wakanda Forever. It's the emotional fucking movie that really doesn't tie into shit. Because if you watch Wakanda Forever, watching it again as you were watching it, it is now taking a step back. It is a tale of two movies. It's the movie Wakanda Forever, the one that we all were set up to watch, and then every now and again they cut to Marvel Cinematic Universe, the movie for 10 minutes, and then they go back to the regular movie.
Yeah.
So that might be what happens with Guardians is we watch the movie and then every once in a while they come back and go, "Hey, we still got 15 more phases to go through." Or James Gunn could have just said, "Fuck it, make the movie he wants to make, and then we'll worry about that shit down the road," because he doesn't care anymore. He's got other shit to worry about now.
Do you think he snuck in some DC shit in there?
No.
You don't think that you're gonna see Peter Quill explain to Nebula who Booster Gold is?
No.
That'd be genius if he's explaining to Nebula who Booster Gold is, so that way his next role is Booster Gold. Everybody already knows who Booster Gold. Oh, it's the guy he told Nebula was.
That would be, but Eternals, let's point it out this way. Eternals is the only one so far to make a reference to Batman and Superman and other shit outside of Marvel. And what happened? That movie didn't do too good.
That's true. But then, but they successfully got rid of Henry Cavill as Superman.
No, that was The Rock.
He wants to take credit for it, but it was Eternal. They showed what a Marvel Superman would be like. And he flew into the sun.
Worse.
Yeah. I mean, it was the Justice League movie we all was hoping for.
But yeah, it was Marvel's version of what a Justice League movie could have been. So we gotta now release the Fahey cut.
That's it. Shit. So
And
good.
I was gonna say there was also for anybody who grew up in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and grew up with a certain Super Mario cartoon, there was a great 30-second teaser that also played for the Super Mario Brothers movie that was fucking awesome
When was this?
before the Super Bowl. Remember I told you there was a phone number. I called the phone number. It led
Yeah,
to
I
a
didn't see it
voicemail.
though.
Huh?
I didn't see that commercial.
Oh, well, dude, it's online.
All right, I'm gonna have to check it out. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a phone number you call. It leads to a voicemail where Luigi tells you that, hey, if you need him, text him. So I texted the number and I just said, I need a plumber. And they actually text me back, hey, thank you for using Super Mario Brothers plumbing. Here's some other blah, 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 blah. Here's the link to the fucking website if you need help. That was a little cool piece of marketing.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty dope. Shit. And Chris Pratt's gonna be in that shit too.
Yeah, so right here, that's the whole message. It's well, I don't know
Thank
if you
you
can
for
read
your
it, but thank you for your interest in Super Mario Brothers Plumbing. We're a family-owned and operated business providing white glove plumbing services to Brooklyn and Queens. Please click the link and sign up to get exclusive updates, service offers, offerings, and more.
not even a Super Mario would step in the fucking Bronx. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, and then it leads you to their website where you can put all your information in, which I'm not gonna do because I don't actually need to get updates on that movie. But
Yeah. And when does that come out?
damn, you asked me. See, now you asking too much.
Hey,
Now you want to know when movies come out and shit. That movie comes out in April 7th.
speaking of the dates, March 3rd, Creed 3, Killmonger is in it. Cav's favorite character. Going up against fucking Kang in a boxing match. Salisbury steak rules. 8-ounce gloves. 12 rounds. First man to the finish.
What the fuck does that last one mean?
The first man to finish wins.
All right, I'm gonna back out of that one there.
He finishes the fight by knocking his other opponent out.
That movie looks pretty good too.
Yeah. Now, real quick, if we're gonna run down the arc of Creed and Rocky, Creed 1 was like basically Rocky 1 and 2, or put together, right? And then Creed 2
Then
was pretty much
was basically Rocky 4,
Rocky 4, and this is looking like
Rocky 3.
a mixture of Rocky 3 and 5.
Now this seems like all Rocky 3.
Yeah, because Clubber
he's
Lang.
he's already got the high life. Then here comes the bad challenger who I don't need nobody help. Come on, Bobo.
Yeah, but also, well, Tommy Gunn was trying to take his shit, but I guess we could wait until Creed 4 for that. Tommy Gunn, because once his daughter gets old enough to scream out, "He took my room," then we're gonna get Creed 4. But do you see this guy being Mr. T? Clubber Lang?
I see him being more vicious than Clubber Lang. Because Clubber Lang was just the guy who was tough and knew he can punch. This guy, and I don't know his name, but Jonathan Majors, his character seems like, oh no, this is the dude that even Clubber Lang is like, nah, man, you go. We're good.
I pity the fool that fights this man.
Yeah.
It does seem like
Clubber Lang would be in the corner as Creed's getting hit, like, throw the towel.
It does seem like Adonis Creed took his life. Like, this guy was the boxer. But
man, took his life. The only reason Adonis is up there is because of Rocky and his fucking name.
Yeah.
It's not like he worked his way through the ranks and got opportunities that would have went to. We don't know if that kid would have fucking became a boxer or went to jail at another point in his life. Like,
well, he originally was in juvie, which is weird because he started out in Creed 1 in a juvenile center, and Apollo Creed's wife took him. So then he got raised with Apollo Creed's wife, and then became a boxer in Mexico, and then met Rocky, became a real boxer, and beat up Drago.
Yeah. None of that seems like that was gonna do any. That was gonna be anything that this fucking kid, that Jonathan Majors character, was gonna do.
All the best fighters in the world fought in Mexico. Julio Cesar Chavez, Canal, and now,
yeah, the Panama Canal.
yes,
All fought in Mexico.
The muscles in Brussels.
Van Damme.
Yeah, Van Damme fought in Mexico sometime. He filmed the movie there.
This is how much I'm not into boxing. I can't even correct you on how to pronounce the Canelo. There you go.
Canal. Canal. That's how you know that sports nowadays mean shit. In all honesty, I know this is the comic book, but this is related to comics because we're talking about a fucking subject which I'm talking about in a comic show. But it goes to show you that sports means shit anymore. You don't need to know anybody's name because all they got to do is come out, say somebody's a bitch, get a bunch of followers, and now he's the number one contender. They do the McGregor.
If there's any further clue, the 2K NBA 2K, I always reset the league back into 1996 or the early 90s when I was watching sports and I knew everybody and every team. The WWE game, I always reset it back to either ECW or WCW or a time before the bullshit we got now.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the comic book movies, he reads the comic book. Historic. Do you think they can do that now with Marvel? Write an actual historical comic accurate movie or show?
No.
Can they do it with DC?
Yes. So they can do it with DC because DC is now rebooting and none of it's tied into anything. None of it's supposed to go anywhere. You can't do it with Marvel because the story that the movies have been telling has been different from the stories in the comics. So if you try to do an accurate comic book version of Civil War, you would have had 15 to 20 other characters that had never been on screen, never did anything, come on screen and start doing a whole bunch of shit. And you're like, well, who the fuck's that? Who's that? Why am I caring about this? Who's that? What's going on over here? Instead, they did it smartly and they just said, fuck it. From where the movies are going, this is the story we're telling.
True. But now with James Gunn's timeline or James Gunn's, what does he call it? Tier 1?
Sure.
Stole 6.
Chapter 1, I think.
Yeah, if his
Gods and Monsters or some shit.
Yeah, you think he's gonna have comic book accurate shit, or are we gonna see when Harry met Sally in fucking in Gods and Monsters?
Nah, dude, he's starting with the fucking Creature Commandos. I mean, you can make. I've never read one of those comics. You can make something that's comic accurate, and I wouldn't know. Then he's going with fucking a show about Themyscira. That's whatever the fuck it's gonna be. An Amanda Waller show, whatever it's gonna be. The Green Lantern show. None of it's gonna. I don't think any of it's gonna tie into anything or be. What do you call it? So yeah, Taekwondo. He's gonna reference comics. He's good at referencing the comics. But if you look at Guardians of the Galaxy and what he's done there, and then read a Guardians of the Galaxy comic, he's not going shot for shot like The Last of Us or Vox Machina, like we said. He's just pulling. You can see the references he's pulling from, but it's not going to be like, oh, I know, I read this comic. I know what this is. That's panel 7 on page 4. Oh, no, that's the splash page on page 8. Like, he's not going to fucking do that. But now, which Supergirl are we getting? Are we getting the Supergirl from the Flash movie? Are we getting a Supergirl, a different one? Because if it's the Supergirl from the Flash movie, then she's no longer a blonde girl with blue eyes and white skin. Like, she's the Spanish chick. So it's already different from what the fuck the comic is. And again, referencing the comics is different from what I think Toe is trying to get out. Yeah, I'm with you. I think she's gonna get recast too, but we'll see. She might actually have a breakout character, and they might have no choice but to keep her.
Yeah. But what's the deal with them not getting the hair right?
What do you mean?
Aquaman's short, you got short hair, short blonde hair, blue eyes, and they come out with Momoa who got long black fucking dreadlocks. Like, what's going on here?
They just fucking pick people to play people.
What's next though? Is fucking Michael Jordan gonna be in the '96 Bulls with a fucking soul glow during the fucking making of this shit? Is that what you want, Taquan? So wants Aryans? Yeah, the Aryan Nation, bro. Listen, if it was good enough for them back in the day, then why not?
All right, I'm gonna remove myself from this part.
Nah, man, fuck all that bullshit, bro. This is what we grew up with. What, you gonna tell me that you want Martin Luther King to be a fucking Cuban? You want fucking Bigfoot to be a goddamn iguana? Let's get some shit straight here.
There's nothing saying that she can't dye her hair later on to fit in, with a more human aesthetic look or some shit. Like, these are the little changes that mean nothing.
They mean everything.
No, because who cares if her hair color is different?
So, if the guy who plays the Thing has brown eyes, you're fine with that?
No. Here's the thing. He's called the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing. His hair, his facial hair, his height, all that shit could change. But he has an identifying marker. The ever-loving blue-eyed Thing.
Yeah, and Supergirl has an identifying marker too. She's a Kryptonian
for just being blonde.
She's a Kryptonian that is the cousin of Superman. If that doesn't scream out blonde, I don't know what the fuck does. Every Kryptonian woman I've ever seen had blonde hair.
What?
Every Kryptonian woman I've ever seen had blonde hair.
That's not true. You seen Clark's mom, and she didn't have blonde hair.
That was an adaptation. She took over somebody's body.
That's not true. But
Kal-El's mom isn't blonde. First off, she's not a woman. She's a lady. And she's a scientist. Everyone knows with fucking Kryptonians, when you're a scientist, once you reach the level of top scientist, your hair turns black. It's like a belt in karate. Read the comics, Saquon. It's issue number 17 of the Great Run. Canon. Turn to page 672 in your book.
Yeah, all I'm saying is
You
hair
you
color.
just looked up all the Supergirls and none of them had black hair.
Huh? No.
You just looked up all the Supergirls and none of them had black hair.
No. I just went to go grab the Professor X shit.
See? And does Professor X have black hair?
Probably. When he had hair.
Yeah, but when he was bald, when he had beautiful flowing hair in Days of Futures Past, everybody was pissed off. Everybody was pissed off because he wasn't bald. Don't tell me to shut up, Daquan. You know I'm speaking the fucking facts. I know you was, when you first saw the fucking X-Men First Class, you threw your bottle at the screen because he had fucking hair.
Who?
Charles Xavier.
No, who threw the bottle at the screen?
Daquan.
Oh. Yo, first off, you do know that this is a different Earth Kara, right? So this is not the same Supergirl from the main continuity of DC. So she could look different.
Shit. Everybody want to look different.
See, now, if we went to a different multiverse in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and it was Earth 472, right? And we had a female thing and she had brown eyes and her nickname was the brown-eyed girl, I'd be fine with it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
They never made a girl out of rocks. Even Korg's people was all males.
Not true. He clearly said he had a mom.
So?
Yeah, let's not hash that up. That shit. That's the first time I've ever felt like, oh no, they forced this in here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was they took a little bit of butter and slid that motherfucker in there.
Yeah,
My mom and my dad made me. And now all of a sudden he has two dads and one of them is fucking Knight Rider with the mustache.
Yeah. And his mom, I guess, is still with Steve or whatever the fuck her boyfriend's name is. Like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
There was literally a she thing. You know something? But we're not talking about her. We're talking about a female thing. Okay?
Oh, now I gotta see that.
She thing and She-Hulk fight all the time, but they can't make a good TV show about it. Is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to bring up the fact that She-Hulk sucked?
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the Hulk in the fucking. That's just the Hulk in a fucking wrestling outfit. I mean, that's just the thing in the Hulk. See what you did?
That
Taquan? You fucked up my shit.
That is the definition of the phrase, what a handsome woman.
Yo, yeah, they just put tits on the thing.
Yeah. You know what? I guess if you're a rock monster, you know what? I'm gonna give it a pass because it's kind of like dogs. You can't tell the difference between male and female dogs unless you go looking for it. So why would you tell the difference between a rock and a rock?
You ain't never seen a feminine rock before?
No.
Shit. She was Miss Marvel for a bit too. Jesus Christ. We're gonna have to do all the female versions of the superheroes.
Oh,
female Wolverine.
The MCU's already doing that.
No, but we're gonna have to do it. It's not official until we do it. Shit. All right, it's 10 o'clock. You know where your kids are.
I thought you were gonna play something.
I was. It just didn't play. Fuck them kids, word.
With the first pick in the NFL draft. The fuck is that?
That's the ESPN ticker. All right.
The New York Jets select offensive lineman from Ohio State.
Now, let's talk about this fucking Charles Xavier. Taquan's been waiting long enough. Taquan doesn't know nothing about Charles Xavier. He's gonna sit here and he's gonna listen to what you gotta say. You gotta say about him. And Charles Xavier was supposed to be this hero, this national treasure, this man who never did nothing wrong. But all of a sudden, we saw the tapes, and the tape said we saw some real shit. Charles Xavier's weakness is stairs. Now, when there's an elevator, ask Storm or Rogue how weak he is to stairs when they carry him up there.
You know, he's also weak to lightning.
It's true. You know what happens to a toad when they get struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
They get hit with lightning.
They got really, really fast.
You know, which is weird. The same thing that happens to everything else. Really? That's got to be true because 15 motherfuckers in the DC universe got hit with lightning and became the Flash. The exact same way.
Word. I can't. There's sometimes I was like, yo, fuck it, hit me with lightning. Let's see what happens.
No,
I won't need a car anymore.
See, I'm smart enough to know. That's why I don't like lightning and spiders and all that shit. I'm smart enough to know if a spider bites you, you're not gonna wake up and have a 6-pack abs and be Spider-Man. If lightning hits you, you're not gonna wake up and be faster than the speed of light.
You might not wake up. Period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep.
Word. So, as the prosecution of Charles Xavier commences.
It's the lawyer show.
Yes, lawyer show. We're going to use lawyer terms. What are the charges that you bring forth upon to Charles Xavier the third?
to Charles.
To Charles Xavier.
I mixed up. I'm trying to say a stupid ass name, and I mixed it up in my. To Charles Aloysius Lucretius Xavier the Third.
That's right.
His full name.
Esquire.
So, as I was looking up and doing my research, there's literally 10 things that almost every list, no matter how much they put on the list, these 10 are always on the forefront of every list. So they must be the worst things he's ever done.
Right.
I'm going to jump around. I'm not going to go sequentially.
All right.
But 1, he shut down Magneto's mind.
Wait.
Took over.
Turned it off?
Yeah. He snapped in a battle with Magneto. What do you call it? So once Magneto ripped out Wolverine's adamantium skeleton, that motherfucker flipped off Magneto and merged and fucking became Onslaught. And everybody knows who's ever read Onslaught. It's probably one of the worst villains. Not like written right, like one of the worst things that the X-Men and the MCU had to, Marvel Comics had to fucking deal with.
Oh wait, so Onslaught is Charles Xavier taking over Magneto's body?
It's a mixture of both of them, yeah. Super powerful, super fucking deadly. It's their minds merged into one. And guess who's the only one who was powerful enough to stop him?
Cyclops.
Franklin Richards.
Reed Richards' son.
Yep.
With the telepathy.
I mean, I don't know how the Onslaught saga is something that I read fucking years ago. I haven't looked that up in a while. But we got somebody in the chat that could.
Yeah, Taquan.
Feel free to chime in.
So based off of a discussion we had earlier, you're telling me that Batman wouldn't have been able to stop Onslaught?
No.
You don't think Batman's as smart as Reed Richards' son?
No. Considering he killed Reed Richards.
I think Batman would have been smart enough to figure out how to stop Onslaught. He'd have got some kryptonite, some lead, and did some damage to him.
Yeah, none of that is a weakness that
we know of. You ever gave Charles Xavier some kryptonite?
No, but I would assume that it has no effect on humans, since every human in the DC comic universe has been able to hold it with no side effects.
Not every human. Lex Luthor got cancer from it.
It's good. It's the fuck he deserves.
Stop fucking with it.
He fucked around and found out.
Word. So he shut down Magneto's body because he took out the adamantium of Wolverine?
Yeah, it was it was at that point where Magneto was doing crazy shit, and once he ripped out the adamantium and the skeleton, Charles fucking snapped and just said, fuck it. Because again, if Charles is in Cerebro and he sneezes too hard, he wipes out everybody that's connected to Cerebro. It's what do you call it? It's the event in Logan, the Westchester event that they talked about, where all the fucking mutants were already dead.
Because he had the seizure.
Yeah.
Which I heard in the comics, it was Mysterio who made an illusion on Wolverine, and Wolverine killed all the X-Men because he thought they were intruders.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on, because at some points, depending on who you look up and who you talk to, Wolverine is not susceptible to fucking mind control. So he should have been able to. He should have literally been able to go, "You're not part of the team," like he did to Mystique in the movie.
Yeah, that's true. You could look like somebody else, but you can't smell like somebody else.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right.
So do you have anything to go up against, any argument against that?
No. This is all I'm learning, just like these people.
Oh,
but he rips out the adamantium skeleton. Xavier snaps, takes over Magneto's body.
Yeah.
Did they say what the purpose was? Was he trying to put the adamantium back in Wolverine?
No. So when he merged, like I said, he merged minds. And what's the one thing Magneto is? Rageful. So you got a fucking telepath who's like, yo, fuck this. Going into a mind that's already like, yo, fuck this. And when they merged, they both went, oh, there's some people over there. Fuck them. He went and killed the X-Men and the fucking Avengers and Fantastic Four. And he just anything and everything that was in front of him, he destroyed.
Oh man, he was the epitome of now I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Shit. All right, that's some fucked up shit.
Now, so I started with that one because, yes, it is fucked up. But he had just seen Magneto fuck up Wolverine, and he thought he was trying to do something good and wound up fucking up everybody else. So that's a good starting point.
Yeah, because let's stay on this one for a while, because now it's like the good intentions, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but he snapped. But you also got to remember, Xavier's one of his oldest friends. I mean, Magneto's one of his oldest friends. So he did that to his oldest friend because of.
Yo, this is the example that they were given in the last episode of The Last of Us. This is what we were talking about before. When This is why they say never sink down to the level of the fucking antagonist. Because the minute you do, you become worse than them. Because how do you stop somebody that's doing bad shit? You have to do something worse.
Yeah.
Because that person's not going to care if you do something equally to them.
Shit.
And there's probably 15 other things he could have done. And he chose the worst one.
Right? Why is it always Charles Xavier's go-to to wipe somebody's mind or to fucking destroy somebody's mind?
Well, two reasons.
One, Barry he's a telepath.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the only thing he can do in his wheelchair. But two, that's why we're putting him on trial here. Because he might not be as fucking as Mickey Mouse as we thought.
Yeah, because I see Charles Xavier going to a restaurant. Yo, let me get a burger with a Coke. Waiter comes back, he got a Sprite. He's like, I said I wanted a Coke. Waiter comes back, he got an orange soda. And now he's like, and this motherfucker's impotent now. Like he wiped out the first 15 years of his fucking existence in his brain. He doesn't know how to fucking walk. He came back looking like Susan.
Yeah, that word doesn't mean what you think it means.
No, I know what it means. I'm just saying, like, this motherfucker's all fucked up.
Yeah, or
he could have just used his mind control to be like, no, I want a Coke, a fucking soda. This black with bubbles in it. Nice.
Or this motherfucker can go. I mean, this is petty shit, but he can go into a restaurant and be like, I want the chicken fingers, and get brought out a fucking filet mignon and some fucking lobster, the rich shit, and only be paying for chicken fingers.
Word. Without none of that fucking honey mustard shit. Which I don't understand. You come out with honey mustard for chicken. You bring ketchup.
I don't know. I'm not a condiment person, but
I mean, if you want kids. Condiments, condominiums, they're all the same shit. The protection.
Yo, put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. Cabs and Lay. I'm fucking severely pissed at you guys. Like, live your lives, do your thing. Yeah. But you keep leaving me here with this motherfucker again. I'm going to have to do something drastic.
Yo, you and Gigi are going to catch it.
Catch what?
I don't know. But on that note, listen to this. Listen to this special message. Right here is a QR code that if you scan it, you get all the links to me, Gigi, Kenny, all the knucklehead shit. You get your gear, you get you get to get to the YouTube channel that you're on. The YouTube channel that you're watching, to scan this code, you can get on again and fucking subscribe again to this shit. You fucking lazy cocksuckers. Scan this shit and handle your fucking business. Tired of this shit. It's real shit out here. You think we do this shit for fun? I get Xavier to rip out your fucking spine. All right. Now that we came back from commercial break.
One-on-one, I'm undefeated. Never lost.
Let's go to this. Let's go to the next.
All right.
What? Damn, I was gonna say next prosecution. The next Exhibit B of Charles Xavier's flatulence.
All right. The next thing. You brought up Batman before.
He killed Batman.
I wish.
Yeah.
What is one thing Batman? We bring it up every once in a while. What is one thing Batman known for? It was part of that one of those awesome cartoons.
The animated series?
No, one of the cartoon movies.
Oh, the Phantasm?
Where they took out all the Justice League members?
Oh yeah. The fuck?
Anyway, Batman had the protocol to kill.
The contingency plans.
Xavier also has protocols on how to take out all of his students.
I mean, couldn't he just lobotomize them without thinking?
Yeah, no, this is in case I die. Here's how you stop this dude. But the thing is, he's not like Batman. He's not contingent on, or he doesn't have, Batman's like, if these guys go rogue, we could stop them. Xavier's like, no, I got it sitting around.
Oh, anybody can get this shit.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm pretty sure we took a look at these plans, and Lay found the one for Cyclops. And if Cyclops goes rogue, you just hit him in the head with a fucking bat until his eyes open and the lasers don't come out no more.
Yo, dude, this is literally if people get out of line. Boom, you get out of here.
You do have some Omega level mutants with you. Like Iceman can freeze the world.
Okay, this is why it's worse than Batman, right?
Okay.
Because if I'm Batman, right, I got a plan to stop you because you're asking me to trust you not to fuck up, right?
Yeah.
I'm Charles Xavier. I got a plan to stop you, right? I'm supposed to be teaching you how to be the person that I would never need to fucking stop. By having a plan to kill you, if you go rogue, is a pure admission that your teachings are shit.
Now, through the voice of Charles Xavier.
So what you saying?
You're saying that the teacher isn't a good enough teacher to teach these people not to kill everyone, that he needs a contingency plan.
Yeah. Like, it literally says if a student gets out of line, you're the fucking teacher. Like, you can't do anything. You can't do anything before that point. Like,
Yeah.
I can understand one day the Flash fucking just turns on you. But you had to trust him from the set.
Yeah.
This is people you're fucking teaching.
You're raising.
You're raising. Like, these are you're imprinting on them.
It's like a parent going, well, if this guy gets out of line, I got a shotgun for him.
Yeah.
Right in his fucking face. Like, wait a minute.
That's literally like, yo, you came home 2 seconds late. Walk back.
Contingency plan. I was dreaming of this day.
Yo, why do you lock your drawers every night? In case my fucking son tries to steal my money. Damn, you didn't raise him good? I raised him to be the best goddamn man you'll ever see. What?
Yeah, that don't make sense. And also, why wouldn't the contingency plan be the rest of the students or the teachers?
Yeah. No, he's got and the thing, how did Batman get his contingency plans? And I can't believe I'm sticking up for Batman here, but he studied, he watched patterns, he's been around them, he learned what they can do, he's blah, blah, blah.
He's a detective. He detected shit.
How would you think Charles did it?
He surfed their mind.
Yeah.
He violated them.
Yeah. He invaded their shit and went in there and found out what he needed to find. Because I don't see Charles walking around with a fucking spyglass going, aha. So Cyclops, your powers come from a dimension. What?
Yeah. That is crazy. He violated the human right to have a fucking internal thought. Shit.
Yeah, look, I see you turning already. Like,
I mean, yeah, well, because you try to justify it, but then it's like, Why don't you have these plans for other mutants?
Yeah,
Like,
you
why
can't
wouldn't
stop
you?
Magneto for shit, but you're gonna kill
Right?
Scott. Like,
Right? Like, yeah, like, here's the thing. Juggernaut's running around fucking everything up. Deadpool's fucking everything up. Apocalypse fucking everything up. Omega Red's fucking everything up. They do what they want. Fucking Hydra took over the world 17 times. You had the Phoenix. And the only ones I'm willing to kill are my students.
Kitty Pryde, you fucking bitch. Come through the wall again. Walk through the goddamn wall again.
That's crazy. It's like the only one you're willing to kill and prepared to kill is your student. That don't sound like a hero.
Especially when you, like you just said, you fight the Brotherhood all the time.
Yeah.
So if one of your kids go rogue, then he's just like the Brotherhood. So what the fuck is the contingency for? You're already fighting the Brotherhood.
But yeah, but also that's like, all right, Superman had a way to neutralize. I mean, Batman had a way to neutralize everybody because they're basically fucking gods, right? But Batman don't fight gods on the regular, so he had to make contingencies just in case if he's the only one left. Charles Xavier fights gods every day. So if they went rogue, it's the same shit. It's a different person. Why is it that you would show compassion to Sabretooth and Omega Red and Sinister and all them and throw them in a jail? But we have to kill Gambit and Rogue and Storm and Morph and fucking and Colossus. We have to kill them. I got plans to kill them.
Yeah. And again, these are motherfuckers you're raising.
Yeah. Children. Jubilee. Kill the X-Men. Kill them until they are dead.
The only thing I can equate is mom probably had a contingency plan for you. Matter of fact, she executed it when you didn't go to school for fucking 3 years.
Word. Shit. That's crazy. I couldn't understand like a Phoenix. Some in Jean Grey that can control her that is no longer Jean Grey doing things. I have a contingency for that. But I have a contingency if Rogue breaks Gambit's heart and Gambit decides to fucking be mad at one point.
I want to know what his contingencies are. Like, what's he gonna force Scott to do? Look in the mirror? Like,
he's probably found a way to put Scott in that dimension he's drawing the energy from.
Or he probably found a way to blind him.
Yeah. And why wouldn't... I'm telling you, it's weird because it's like the Marvel Universe is full of contingencies. If one of them goes fucked up, if Wolverine goes fucked up, you have other people there that can go fight Wolverine or stop Wolverine from killing him. Or if Storm fucks up, like she gets mad and all that, they can run away from Storm. You know, you train these motherfuckers to stop mutants. And we're gonna kill them if one of them gets out of line. What? And that's another thing. I don't know if it's on your list, but the whole fucking training in the war room.
Yeah. So there's two things about that, but one of them, one of the ones I have is he literally uses children as soldiers to fight against all types of shit.
It's easier to kill a child and get a new one than to kill a grown man and get a new one.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
Hey, listen, that's what I guess that's his motive.
But see, this is another thing he has that's similar to Batman. They're just like, fuck it, give me all the orphans. I need as many orphans as possible to stop the drug.
And if one of them gets out of line, I'm gonna
I-
fucking kill him.
So help me fucking God. Guys, yeah. Xavier's like, guys, here's the plan. We're gonna capture Magneto. But if Jim steps 1 foot out of line, we're gonna fucking nuke him.
Yeah,
Capture Magneto, nuke Jim.
yeah. If you fucking ask for ice cream, I swear to God, Wolverine, I'm gonna stick you to a magnet. I'm gonna stick you to the fucking world's strongest magnet, and I'm gonna let you rot.
That's another thing. He's got fuck, where's the one that's on the he's got a sentient fucking robot.
Run in the war room, right?
Yeah. And he literally keeps that shit, and essentially it's enslaved. Trying to see if I can find.
But if that sentient tells anybody, they'll fucking kill him.
Yeah, he's probably got contingencies for that.
Yeah. So this is the same sentient robot that was running a Sentinel?
I think so. Fuck, I had it here in the list, and then I went to a smaller list. But this thing's on like he literally cheated his way through school.
I saw that. Man, he was reading the teacher's minds.
Yeah, in the early days of the X-Men, see, these are like small ones that we'll get to, but in the early days of the X-Men, he was hitting on Jean Grey. They were all teenagers when they came in. Like it was a weird dynamic and a weird time when they originally wrote that shit. He faked his own fucking death, which got everybody freaked out.
All right, hold up, real quick. We're gonna come back to this, but remember not to forget this. I saw that the only one that wasn't interested in Jean Grey was Iceman. So we'll get back to that after these charges and shit. But
yeah, so here we go. In the beginning, X-Mention's Danger Room was just a high-tech obstacle course, which was designed to test Xavier's student. However, after the X-Men Colossus destroyed the training ground, Professor X and the Mutant Forge upgraded the Danger Room with Shari alien tech. I think that's the people who are Lalandra and Gladiator and those guys. The end result was in holodeck-like playground. It's a holodeck playground. But the AI that they put in there gained awareness and became sentient. And he's codenamed Danger Room. And Professor X is just keeping that motherfucker now.
Shit. Did they say why? Does he have a contingency plan on the Danger Room? He's like, if you get out of line, I'm going to bring Colossus back in this motherfucker.
Well, he knows how to... he knows how to stop every fucking X-Men.
The sentient being?
Yeah. Anybody... I mean, because he trains them. He knows their fucking weaknesses, their strengths. Now, how fucked up would that be if he's the one who figured all that out and Charles went, yoink, thank you. That one's mine now.
Yeah, right? Because now I'm starting to think that Charles Xavier is more like inconceivable from Princess Bride.
Oh, Fassini?
Yeah. I do not think that's the word that you want to use. You know?
Yeah, I mean, yo, everybody has shades of gray. This motherfucker is looking more like he's got just a little bit of good and a lot of like, wait a minute.
He got some good intentions.
shit, even before we get back to like the major shit, even in the cartoon, one of the shit that I always point out, the time Scott's flying the fucking Blackwing, Blackbird, and they're like, "Yo, Xavier did this," and he's like, "He did what?" Like,
Yeah.
just that tone of this motherfucker did what again? Like,
Yeah. And that goes to show you, it's like, is Xavier just a fucking high-powered master manipulator? Are they there on their own volition, or were they coerced to fight the battles of Charles Xavier, mutant ability? Is this the real reason why Lay doesn't like Cyclops?
it's because
he
Charles
knows
has a contingency to kill him.
no, because he knows that Cyclops is gonna follow him blindly because he believes in him, and Cyclops is the only one that can stop Xavier from ruining the lives of these little kids from death.
I have no idea. I think Slade doesn't like Cyclops because he's even White Bread is like, Jesus Christ, dude, do something. Like,
You got Jean Grey.
okay, so you put mayonnaise on white bread.
Hey,
That's a reason they call that a poor man's sandwich.
True, but do you think that Jean Grey and Charles Xavier are manipulating everybody? Like they're in on it?
No, Jean Grey's getting manipulated. That's another thing that's on the list, is how he fucked with her mind and blocked off certain parts of shit. He did the same to Wolverine. He completely reprogrammed Wolverine. That's why during the House of M shit, when Wanda flipped everything, all the shit that Professor X did to Wolverine flipped off. And that's why he was the only one who knew and remembered what everything was like before she did it.
Because she gave him his memories.
Well, whatever she did reversed, like, was almost the opposite of what the world was. So the opposite of a barrier is no barrier. So all the barriers went away. And all of his fucking memories came back. It's like, oh, I remember all this shit now. But that was Charles who fucking went in there and played around and fixed shit and moved shit. And one of the things that I'm trying to read, going back to like the big things. So the original, he Expendable 3, this shit. The original team got caught and captured. So he went, well, fuck it, I'll make a new team. Took him in to save the old team. That new team died. And Charles went, never happened, never happened, never happened. And erased them out of existence so that nobody knew that he did it, that he got a new team and got him killed. And two of the biggest members that people would know on this team, Darwin, who is evolution personified. He literally, whatever position you put him in, he'll evolve and adapt to that situation.
That he was in X-Men's First Class.
Yeah. And Vulcan, which is Scott's youngest brother, who was a bad guy, but then became a good guy, and then became an X-Men, and then died. And then Xavier went, hey, Scott, how's your only brother, the only one you have, Havoc? How's he doing?
What is Vulcan's power?
Oh, this motherfucker. I gotta look that up because
his mutant ability is to step out of line and get dead by Charles.
Yeah. I'm not, what do you call it? I've read the X-Men, but I'm not like an X-Men fan.
Oh yeah. So his team gets captured. By who? Did they say who?
Let me go back.
Because maybe that was the contingency plan for if his team gets captured.
I recruited a brand new group of X-Men who still kept there to rescue the original band because they were living on Krakoa, the island.
Yeah.
They all got captured on the island. They were there and then they got captured on the island.
All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna be right back. But go on to your next point.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna just go through the various powers of Vulcan.
All right.
There's got vast energy absorption, manipulation, transformation, and projection. So, energy blast, just like Scott and Havoc. He can fly. He's got force field projection and manipulation. So, kind of like Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. He's got life support and limited regeneration. Energy blast again. He's got limited superpower replication and repression. So on small amounts, he can copy essentially what you do, or to some extent negate what you do and repress what you do. He's got a couple of kinetic powers that I've never heard of: geokineticus and chronokineticus. I was probably Earth and Time, if I'm reading that right. And psionic resistance. Let's see if they go into further depth of what some of this shit is. Sorry, I know this is riveting stuff here, so I'm trying to look this shit up, but I don't do this for a living, folks.
So if he got all those powers, how the fuck
So
did
he's
he
got
die?
the ability to, so genokinesis is the ability to manipulate Earth, like I thought, based on the Latin root. And time, and so I was right. He can manipulate Earth and time, the actual Earth itself and time.
So how the hell did he die?
Because Xavier, come on, he's not, just because he can do this shit doesn't mean he's good at it.
But then did you say he just got healing kinesis?
No, he's got limited regeneration. Which means you could still die if they hit you past your limit. I mean, fuck, how do you kill Darwin if the motherfucker can adapt to almost anything?
That's what I'm saying. So all right, hold up. So
But
is his
that's what makes
contingency
Xavier-
plan just fucking put a bullet in their head?
I have no idea. But that's what makes Xavier, that's what makes this stand out to me, is the fact that you have, fuck the other people on the team, you have these two supposedly powerhouses, supposedly stronger than Scott and fucking Havoc. And you led them on a mission and they died.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and went, wasn't me?
Hey, that's the most fucked up thing. You got him dead, and then you just hit it. How are you a leader? How is it this man should not be the leader of the X-Men? Have they ever figured it out? Like House of M or some shit told them?
No, I did. I'm willing to guess with the amount of fucking X-Men comic books, I'm willing to guess that somebody somewhere at some point in time found out, and Scott was probably pretty miffed.
It was on some, ooh, if you didn't have that contingency on me, I'd have blasted you.
Yeah. Like he just looks at Scott and like, I can see you looking at me through your glasses, Scott. And Scott's like, ooh, if I had the arm strength to just turn that lever.
I can hear you thinking about being mad at me. You're no longer mad. How the fuck is is Magneto friends with Charles Xavier?
Yo, so here's a little bit of. Oh, it was even worse than that.
Oh shit, it's worse.
Because the team had Cyclops and Havoc, and Cyclops was the only one to survive. And then Professor X then wiped Cyclops' memory and acted like the mutants never existed. And then later wiped Scott's memory of his brother Vulcan, which caused the X-Men to banish him from his school. So then they kicked out Xavier after they found out.
Shit. So they kicked out Xavier for wiping Scott Summers' memory of his younger brother Vulcan, but not Havoc.
Yeah.
So hold on, wait. I remember when the X-Force debuted in the the animated series, and Havoc and Cyclops didn't know they were brothers. That's why they couldn't hurt each other.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be when they wiped both of their memories?
No, they just remember they were separated from when they were fucking kids, so they didn't know that was something different.
He didn't kill him yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's fucked up. How is he supposed to trust this man? This man was supposed to be the best of us. They made him in the movie the one above all.
That's why I brought up this topic. Because Magneto has a legit reason or a legit starting point for where all of his shit comes from. Like the shit he went through in World War II. That's where the stemming of his hatred of humanity and the Homo sapien species.
Yeah.
And why there's a legit starting point. Professor X, there's no starting point from him. Where's his inciting incident? It just means he was like this from the start.
Yeah. And also his dream was just to have mutants live in peace. He didn't give a shit about the humans. That's why he made that the island that
Krakoa.
Yeah. So mutants could live there in peace if they choose to. Words, if they choose to. Not because you have to. Damn. This is Elvis's manager all over again.
Yeah, except he was bad from the start. Everybody knew Colonel Parker was a fucking trash bag.
Shit. Yeah, when did Magneto and Charles Xavier become friends, or is that just something they did in the movie?
No, they've been friends for I think when Magneto, right after Magneto survived the events of World War II and shit, they met up after. But now you got to think, with all this shit going on, are they really friends? Or was Charles just in his head before Magneto got that helmet?
That's true. Did Magneto get the helmet because he knew Charles was in his head?
I mean, he definitely got it to stop Charles from getting in there. But now, what was the point for that?
Yeah, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And now, who was the bad brother? Juggernaut or Charles Xavier?
I'm pretty sure they made it clear that it was Juggernaut, but Charles came.
You never know. He also it doesn't get mind wiped because of that helmet. He might be fucking suffering from mental torture and anguish through Xavier because Xavier tried to kill his sister. I know that's something on the list.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's my last one.
yeah, so he might have been trying to kill Juggernaut before he came Juggernaut, and then he became Juggernaut, and it made him invulnerable to death, to Charles Xavier death.
See, now it puts all this shit into question now.
Yeah. He is like a judge that gets caught cheating or rigging, sentences and rigging, and now we got to put all of his cases into question. Did he really pay for those meals when they were out on the road with Wolverine and Logan? Did he force Wolverine?
This is not the money you're looking for.
Yeah. Did he force Wolverine to kill all those people? Was he the one who cloned Wolverine and we got Weapon X 23?
No, that was the X Corp.
Did he trick Thanos into loving death to snap and destroy half the planet?
Where's Bobby Brain? Is he the third man?
Word. All these humanoids out here, they love this man. He's a fraud. Is he the reason why Deadpool is crazy?
No.
Did he inject Deadpool with AIDS? We have to know this shit.
Pretty sure no on that last one. Considering that that's not one of the sicknesses.
What, he got cancer?
Yeah.
See?
It's a pretty big difference.
He turned it into cancer. He mind wiped the disease. He got into the disease's fucking brain and changed it.
No. We can't pin everything on him.
Listen, he's the reason why the fungus mutated and can survive under 28-degree weather.
All right. Let's get back on track now. Well, here's another one, a little bit on the smaller side, but he joined the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Which, now, you would think that means nothing, except their first call of order was to send the Hulk away, resulting in World War Hulk, Planet Hulk, and everybody getting their ass whooped and handed to him by the Jolly Green Giant. Not to mention, the Illuminati also came up with a plan to kill Wanda when she was getting too fucking crazy.
Hold up, wait. So, are you telling me that Charles Xavier got into the head of Doctor Strange to use the Darkhold and then told Reed Richards to tell Wanda how to kill Black Bolt, just so that way he can give the impression that he died too, so he could go to another universe and start the X-Men all over again and fucking mind fuck all of them?
No, I'm pretty sure none of that happened, but
he knew that the only one that could stop his mental telepathy is Agent Carter, and he got her dead. Is that why the wizard didn't want to go fight the witch? Because he knew that Charles Xavier was fucking with him? And that was the beef. It wasn't that he was using the Darkhold and he stopped Thanos with the Darkhold and he got corrupted. It was because Charles Xavier got into Doctor Strange's brain and caused him to almost kill the world. He might have been a savior to us all, and we rooted for him to die in Multiverse of Madness. We have to question everything. Was that chair yellow? Was that chair floating? Or were there invisible wheels there? These are the questions that we ask here in the Knucklehead Network. The
Dude,
hard questions.
You're just you're on the tangent train today.
These are the questions we have to ask. These questions. Who else is gonna have the balls to ask these questions? You can't fuck with a man's head that doesn't have one.
You can if you're the one who has it.
You gotta get it first.
I'm trying to parse my words here so we don't accidentally turn this into a fucking another argument session.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, next one on the list. One of the smaller ones. Motherfucker faked his death.
I thought you was gonna say motherfucker fainted. He fainted during the middle of a fight.
Can you imagine? Before we get to that, can you imagine if that was one of his crimes? He's like, actually, we gotta fight the brotherhood. Charge! And as he's charging, he's like, "Oh, I got the vapor."
I fainted.
He made everybody else fight, and then at the end, he was like, "Yo, we won. I led the charge. Everything was fucking awesome."
Every time we're fighting, Charles, you faint. What's going on here?
Charles, the Sentinel's at the front door. Oh my god, I can't. I literally can't.
War room set out the contingencies if I don't make it. Oh man.
Oh, he faked his death, traumatizing all of his students, and then show back up like, you fell for the classic foible. Everybody knows you never trust a fucking mutant death when comic books are being written.
Word. So why'd he fake his death? Just to fuck with him? He's like, yo, they're getting too comfortable. I died. Look.
I'm trying to read this thing here because this shit literally was part of the X-Men shit before I even started reading X-Men. This is like original run.
Shit, so he did
when
this
Angel
shit
still had
Iceman.
like fucking regular wings.
Jesus. What kind of shit were they writing?
Yo, it was a changeling who morphed into Charles and died to help Xavier. He had somebody else fucking turn into him to die. That makes this even 10 times worse.
He got someone else to kill him. And he killed himself in the process.
And he hid in the basement the whole time, waiting for an alien invasion.
What?
Yo, dude, I'm reading it right here. This is exactly what it says. Right? It goes, it wasn't long before Professor X returned. Somebody fucked this up. He never died at all. It was a changeling who morphed into Charles and died to help Xavier fake his death. Then Professor X hid in the X-Men's basement all the time waiting for an alien invasion. Charles later said that he made his students think he was dead because he didn't want them to bother him.
What?
While he was waiting for this alien invasion.
How good was this alien invasion? Was it WrestleMania of alien invasions? Was it the fucking Super Bowl and shit? He wanted to see the commercials? Was he cooking a fucking souffle?
Yo, can you imagine? If I'm like, yo, Vin, I ordered something from Amazon. I'm waiting for it to come. Shit, so when it gets here, I can be like, cool. None of y'all motherfuckers bother me. I'm gonna sit outside and wait for the fucking package to go.
I'll fucking kill myself if you don't fucking stop bothering me for this fucking package. There's an alien race coming, and I need to see it. Leave me the fuck alone.
God damn it, Kitty Pryde, can't you see there's aliens coming in 2 days?
Can't you see they got a gun? Can't you see they got a gun? You know what? Fuck it. You want to ask questions about the aliens? Blah.
No, he didn't even do that. You want to ask questions about all this shit? Everybody fucking talking to me? Hey, Morph, come here. Look like me for a second. Bang! There you go. He's
Dead.
dead, everybody. I died.
I died. Leave me the fuck alone. Shit, you would think that he would just fucking telepathy that shit. What happened to Charles? I'm fucking dead. Leave me alone. I'm waiting for alien invasion.
Yeah, it's everybody. I have to take a massive shit. If you can just not knock on the door for like 2 days.
Yeah. What happened to communication? There's an alien invasion coming. Please leave me alone. I'd appreciate it if you leave me the fuck alone. I need to wait for this alien invasion on my own. It's the training that I'm doing to become the last fucking dragon.
What gets me about this is if this is all true, this motherfucker, so his students won't bother him. Okay. Are you not training a fucking school of fighters and fucking protectors? Do you not want them to fight the aliens? Like, are you trying to become one with it? Is this Lalandra? Is this the fucking people that were coming that you're cool with and you didn't want them to fight each other? Like,
yeah, it seems like, oh shit, there's an alien race coming? Fuck that. Fuck out. Now when they come, they don't fuck with me. I don't got enough food for the fucking students.
Motherfucker was like Bill from episode 3. He's just hiding in his basement. It's like, as soon as these motherfuckers, he's probably not even fucking paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
A motherfucker probably gets up every night and just fucking moonwalks to his bed.
Word. Fucking electric sliding motherfucker. Jesus, so the people won't bother him. What? You don't think that they should know there's an alien invasion coming? Like, students, by the way, since you're training, there's an alien invasion coming.
Yeah,
Xavier didn't
fucking potato salad, bro.
He didn't want the potato salad recipe. Yo, listen.
As my grandfather would say, that katofe salad.
Word. Xavier, he probably didn't want to come to the barbecue. That's what it is. Motherfucker didn't want to be the only one eating a potato salad. But so he would. Gene, I can't have any of the students bother me. Okay, but you know it might be impossible. One of them has a question about quantum physics. Kapow. Not no more, bitch. Not no more. Now I'm in the basement. He's in his man cave, chilling, waiting for a fucking alien invasion. What, the Avengers are supposed to just... Is this what's gonna happen when they introduce the X-Men? Charles Xavier's gonna come out of his basement when the Chitauri gets fucking manhandled by the Avengers, and he's gonna go, finally, we can show the world we're here. Or is that what's gonna happen after Infinity Wars? Why didn't you fight with the Infinity Wars? Why didn't you fight against Thanos? I was in the basement. Why were you in the basement?
Yeah.
I faked my own death. Why'd you fake your own death so no one bothers me? Why? What? How are they gonna bother you? I knew there was an alien invasion coming. Why didn't you help? You know, so you're asking too many questions. Morph, turn it to me again. Kapow! I'm dead. I'm waiting for phase 6. Fuck this. X-Men back in the basement.
Either that or he's like, yo, you're asking too many questions. You're out of line. Contingency plan 47.
Yeah. Scott said, he did what?
That has to be one of the most absurd things I think I've ever read. Now, you know that your coworker that you were referring to in the beginning of this episode, where you're like, oh, you described her some shit, and she was like, oh, this seems pretty cool.
Yes.
Go back there tomorrow and tell her this, and let's see how cool she thinks it is now.
What?
Yeah, I think she'll look at me like, I don't know if you're speaking English, but you see that nurse that looks like me? Yeah, kapow. I'm going in the basement. Holy shit. What else we got with this fucking guy here? You see this shit, Ray? Xavier is a piece of shit.
So we got two more. So everybody knows.
The Muffin Man.
No, I'm trying to think of his Legion.
Yes.
David Heller,
His son.
who he locked in a fucking mental facility instead of dealing with, and left him in there with mutant abilities and multiple personalities to fucking go crazy. And he's, what do you call it? Legion is the one who set forth the Age of Apocalypse and fucked up the world. All because Professor X was too busy hiding in the basement from his students in the school in which he was supposed to teach them how to be decent fucking people, to be a father.
The man that teaches mutants how to control their abilities locked a mutant in a mental institution because he couldn't control his abilities.
No, he didn't even want to deal with them. Yeah, I agree with you. The more you read, the more you notice that Magneto ain't bad.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Magneto's, all of his rage and shit stems from an actual fucking starting point. You take that away from Magneto's past, and I don't think he becomes Magneto.
Yeah. My man said, listen, what was her name? Cheryl? Christina? The one that he went to go wait for Lalandra that cured the mutant.
Oh, Moira.
Moira
McTaggart.
My man said, I just wanted some Moira pussy, and you came out like, you fucking mistake. I'm gonna kill myself again, and I'm gonna go in the basement. I'm gonna wait until the people come and take your mental ass out of here.
Charles, this is your son. Put him in the facility. I'll see him in 18 years.
Word. That ain't my fucking son. He got hair. Put his ass, that motherfucking crazy thing. He almost thinking I'm his father. Put him in the loony bin. Scott, I'm your father. Fuck your brothers. You don't remember them now. Holy shit. Is that the mutant that they said was Stryker's son?
No. That was in that movie that was Mastermind.
Okay.
Yeah, Mastermind is all about the manipulation of like hallucinogenic shit. He makes you hallucinate and believe that you're another shit when you're not. Which, by the way, Mastermind is not really. I don't think he's Stryker's son in the comics. I think he's somebody else. But they did one of those things where we could just put him in here and call him this.
All right. Fucking Gambit's son and shit, and Gambit doesn't even know. Because God forbid you have kids around Xavier.
Yeah.
You have younger brothers.
Yo, why you think Cable has to come from the future with a fucked up arm and we don't see him anywhere in our timeline?
Right? And he's a telepath too, right?
Technically, yeah. But he uses all of that to keep the cybernetic fucking whatever at bay in his arm. He's using 90% of his mutant ability to keep himself alive, essentially.
Wait. His cybernetic arm is killing him?
No, so there's some sort of like virus thing that's in his cybernetic arm, and he's using most of his mutant ability to keep that shit within the arm so it doesn't affect him.
Okay. And Charles Xavier put that shit there.
Who at this point, At this point, the evidence is pointing to the most extreme places.
Who created the clone of Jean Grey? Was it Xavier?
That's a good question. I doubt it, but I wouldn't put it past him now.
He incepted the idea. He's been fucking with Scott ever since he met him. I'm gonna kill your mother. I'm gonna kill your father. I'm gonna kill your brothers, and you're not even gonna remember them. Then I'm gonna take your woman. I'm gonna give you a clone, and then I'm gonna fuck up your kid.
Yeah.
That's his contingency plan. Scott, if you ever get out of line, I swear to God, I'm gonna make you remember all this shit. And he's gonna drive him crazy, and he's gonna fucking go in the basement and kill himself.
Dude, I'm still on that. He told somebody else, you know what your purpose is on this planet, my son? Is to die for me. I will name you Jesus.
What alien race came down?
It's gotta be the fucking Lalandra and her fucking people.
Oh man, sacrifice. He laid sacrifice for the aliens.
Do not be bothered. Like,
Cause he had mad cocoa butter all over his body, just fucking dancing. Isaiah, what's going on? My man fucking killed somebody, so he can't be bothered in the basement. Then he fucks with Scott's family. Lay needs to figure this shit out. Lay needs to hear this, because then he'll realize Scott Summers like the Miz. He deserves all the respect we give him.
So, try to get everything back on track here.
Yeah.
The last one. He successfully, well, I don't know how to word this. I'm going to word it the way they did. He tried to kill his unborn sister. So, yeah, when he was a baby in his mother's womb, there was two of them, him and his sister. He was a fucking, he's a telepath, super fucking genius. He was able to sense that his sister might turn around one day and become evil. So he killed her in the womb. She was stillborn, which means she was born dead when they fucking, did what they did. And then she somehow, with her mutant ability, was able to transfer bodies or some shit like that and come back to be one of the fucking biggest pains in the ass for the X-Men.
Scott Summers.
No, but talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you because I think you're going to turn out evil. Oops, you're evil because I killed you and now you hate me.
Yeah, I killed you in the womb.
Yeah.
Where the freedom of choice hasn't even got to you yet. He was like, yo, this woman is going to be a pain in my ass, and I got to wait for these fucking aliens. Kill her now or deal with this shit. We got Magneto on the way.
Dude, it literally says here in the article, it's like, he, even as a child or as this little baby, he thought his decisions were the best for everyone involved at the time.
How does he know? Was he a super genius?
Yeah.
In the womb, he's a super genius. He can fucking do math and shit.
Well, I mean, he's a telepath, so he...
How does he know what evil is?
Dude, I don't know. That's what makes this the fucking worst thing.
Yeah, she's gonna come out the womb crying. This bitch is evil. Killing out. Shitting all over the place. Jesus. I got an alien race I gotta wait for. Gotta fake my own death. I thought your mutant ability unlocked when you was in distress. How did he have that shit unlocked in the womb?
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how the fuck the logistics of this. But this is one of the things that I read where I was like, you know what? We're gonna put this motherfucker on trial.
Word.
Because think about this. Somehow he's able to fucking in the womb decipher that his sister is gonna be evil. So let's try to get rid of her now. Then you go and create a school for children to teach them how to hone their mutant abilities. Then you make a fucking contingency plan to kill them if they ever step out of line. What the fuck happened to you being able to discern if they were going to be evil?
Yeah.
Like you were able to discern that at -2, but at 36, you're like, I don't know what the fuck this kid's going to turn out to be.
Oh, and here's another question. You discern that your sister's gonna turn evil, so you kill her. But you know Jean Grey's gonna turn into the Phoenix, so you block her mind. You know that Wolverine is a fucking psychopathic killing monster, so you block his mind. You kill somebody who can look like you, wait for aliens. And you capture all of the bad mutants and throw them in jail. But you have a plan to kill your people.
And you led your team to slaughter and then made people forget about it.
Yeah. And this is your champion? This is where the question, is there no one else that could have fucking led the X-Men? Or did he manipulate them too? Did he take the idea from like fucking Hank McCoy's father or some shit and just said, fuck it, it's my idea now?
Not to mention, there was an actual time where he did actually become the villain, like a proper villain. But I'm not counting that because proper villainy is different than if you're trying to measure somebody good or bad.
Yeah.
So with this here,
who knew about all this shit? Did Magneto know about this shit?
I don't know who knows about this because, like I said, the X-Men is really just a step outside of my purview. Because I never liked the fact that it was the Marvel comics and then the X-Men. They always felt like they were separate.
But I could swear Magneto was on some. Last week you had 5, now you have 12, and next week you're gonna have 3. And this guy, doesn't he have brothers? Why am I the only one that remembers this guy had brothers? What happened to his brothers?
No,
how come he don't remember his brothers? Wait a minute. What happened to Xavier? How did Xavier die? He slipped on a banana. What? No, he's got to be waiting for an alien race here.
Can you imagine if somebody called that?
Scott Steiner did the math.
you got just somebody, a fucking mutant in the back whose only mutation is like he grew 3 extra hairs on his cheek, and he's sitting there like, that motherfucker ain't dead. I seen his fucking wheelchair near the basement steps the other day.
Word. You ever notice how the elevator used to go to the basement, but it don't go no more?
That button's still there though.
Right? Shit. Damn. He killed us.
Now, I'm gonna bring this to you as Judge, Judy, and Executioner. Weighing everything you know about Charles Xavier from any and all media that you can extrapolate from versus hearing all this, where do you stand on him? Shit, Deadpool's too busy dealing with his own shit. He don't care.
Hold up.
I was just responding to one of the comments.
According to the jury and the plaintiff and the state of New York, Illinois, Charles Xavier is a piece of shit. That he should be in jail. That's the most illegal shit against human rights I've ever seen. How the fuck have we ever compared him to Martin Luther King? He violated every human right, every fucking laws of physics, everything that ever had anything to do with privacy, trust. And this motherfucker's still walking around in a wheelchair, waiting for aliens. He was the real villain, yeah.
Yo, Maury said it best. We asked if Charles Xavier was a hero. We had the lie detector test. That was a lie.
Word. Magneto's just sitting there with his fucking helmet on going, I told y'all motherfuckers. I told you not to go there. And where'd he get that building from? Did he fucking manipulate his way into the building too? That son of a bitch? He hasn't paid $1 towards that fucking building, did he?
No, he's rich.
He doesn't pay
from the rich
taxes?
family.
Is he? Or is that what he wants us to believe?
No, well, I mean, think of all the money they saved by only having to raise one kid.
Yeah, right? Twins, they would have been in the projects. Maybe that's him. He mind fucked us. So he's in the check the basement. Is he in the basement, metaphorically speaking, on an X-Men comic, waiting for more aliens to come? Is he in Phase 7 in the alien basement, waiting for an invasion? Is that why Kang didn't want to come conquer us yet? Because Charles Xavier's in the basement?
Yo, what do you think of Wanda killing him now in Multiverse of Madness? Or, and more accurately put, a couple of universes and some crazy shit.
I think that's him faking his own death so he could be in the basement. Because I always question, if he's the world's strongest telepath and he can kill somebody with a thought, how the fuck is Wanda gonna destroy him that fast in his mind? The one place he's stronger than anybody, and Wanda killed him in 2 seconds. That has to be a clone. That has to be somebody he tricked to look like him, to fucking go in his mind and fuck around with it. He fuck around and found out. He promised that motherfucker $10,000 if he would just look like him. Look like me for a week. Say these words, and I'll give you $10,000. And my man's a struggling actor who's a mutant, who's out there trying to live day by day, and now he's fucking dead.
He saw Trevor Slattery had great success as the Mandarin.
Yeah, now he's fucking dead because of Xavier. Jesus Christ. What is this world coming to? He was supposed to be the best of us.
That dude was sitting in the thing going, all right, I'm Charles Xavier. I'm Charles Xavier. Wanda, stop. Nope. How do I get this? Wanda, stop.
Wanda, stop this madness. Dead. I was an Shakespearean actor.
A what?
A Shakespearean. It's like a Shakespearean, but
it
was straight to B movie.
Nah, I think it's better if he was like a baked good actor and he just Sarah Lee and Twinkies ago. We're all sprinkled with cupcakes.
Straight to video Broadway plays.
That's that off Broadway.
Word. Jesus Christ. And he's from New York. That's the problem. But he's probably from Connecticut.
He's from Westchester.
New York. He moved to Westchester. He made it. Ain't that some shit? That's fucked up. And that's why they don't want to admit none of these X-Men are from the Bronx. Because we wouldn't have fell for that shit. How many people we see die a day? You know what a real one looked like. We'd have been on some, wait a minute. He's palming it. That's not Xavier. Xavier don't die like that.
No, that dude actually died.
That's what I'm saying. The dude who died had functioning legs. Xavier don't have legs. Nah, that's not Xavier. We would have right off the bat, boop, and then Xavier would have tried to wipe our memory. Like, no. All we got is our memory. We don't have food to eat in the Bronx. We don't have transportation in the Bronx. Go to Fordham and tell me what the fuck's going on over there. And then you try to fuck with me mentally. You survive Fordham, no mental telepath can fuck with you. Take the 12 bus and then talk about somebody coming in my mind telling me some shit. Fuck out of here, dude. That's why he ain't got no Bronx shit in him. You can't kill him because they know. Can't control them because they too stupid. Fucking get a Norlands from the barrel with Gambit.
All right, what the fuck did you just try to say there?
They know what I said.
All right, now explain it to me.
The bio.
So he was down in the bayou.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Norlands.
Yeah.
They had to get him. They can't get nobody from the Bronx.
Okay.
Nev Campbell. What?
No, I'm saying they had to get Gambit from the bayou down in Nolans.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
they couldn't get nobody from the Bronx. He wouldn't have been able to fuck around.
I don't know what to do right there for your speech, but
That's
that
how you
wasn't it.
pronounce Norlands. Norlands. It's 2 words, 1 syllable. Shit, it's like Cuba.
Yeah. How do you spell it? Nolans.
Yeah. You don't spell Norlands. You say it. You feel that shit. Ask anybody.
$25,000 alpaca. You bought that.
Word. Ask anybody in Norlands how to spell Norlands. They'll fuck you up. Shit. Why you think on the map it says New Orleans? They fucking sounded it out and fucked it up.
Well,
you don't
'cause
use a map.
It's New or it's Leans. New Orleans.
See? Gambit no. And he's been fucking with Gambit this whole time. I'm pretty sure Xavier wants Rogue and Jean Grey. That's why he's telling Rogue she can't touch nobody.
It's not the fact that she actually literally can't.
No, it's not, because that has to be a mental issue. That she should have been able to control that, taking other powers. But Xavier into some fetish shit. And that's why he's like, nah, I don't want you touching nobody. Unless I tell you to touch somebody. And that's why I ain't gonna help. That's why I ain't gonna help you. I ain't gonna help my son. I ain't gonna help that bitch on the corner. I ain't gonna help none of you motherfuckers.
Yo.
Leave me alone. I'm waiting for aliens.
I'm in the goddamn basement.
Yeah, I'm in the fucking basement.
Yo, what you said just made it sound 10 times worse.
Yup, work down. He wanted Jean Grey. He wanted a little taste of that Phoenix. Shit. Now, why was Iceman not interested in? Because he can't be telepathized?
But do you want me to tell you what the actual shit is now?
Yeah, but is it because Charles was trying to get everybody to fight over Jean so that way he could be in control?
No. Jean Grey actually outed Bobby Drake, Iceman.
For what?
For being gay.
That's why he didn't want no. Oh wait, now is he really gay, or did she just say he's gay because she didn't want none of that?
No, I think he's actually gay.
And Jean Grey outed him. Was she mind fucked him?
What?
She read his mind and just told the world? He like show tunes and shit?
I don't know the exact way in which he did it. That's just the shit that I read. That's the new shit going around.
All right, because that's one of in that little thing is like, who was it? Cyclops Professor X, Beast, and Wolverine were all interested in Jean Grey, except for Iceman. So she out. So is that the new shit or is that the original shit?
I think that's the new retconning of it.
So what's the original shit?
I mean, not everybody's gonna fucking like Jean Grey. Who the fuck's Jean Grey?
Apparently, she's the one. All right, hold up. Now I gotta look it up. It's like this keyboard doesn't have the same buttons as any other fucking keyboard. How is Iceman gay when he has never shown homosexual behavior towards men, but only interest towards women?
Is that a headline you're reading?
Yeah, it goes. If Iceman was gay, then he's the most in the closet gay ever born, to the point where even he didn't know it was nearly his entire life.
I mean, that's why they call it a retcon.
Not only has he never shown any interest towards men, he's actively gone after women in secret because they were enemies of the X-Men, Mystique. He slept with more women than anyone, barring maybe Stark, or probably Tony Stark. He fought with other X-Men over women. And if all of that wasn't a clue enough, we've seen his thoughts. We've seen his deepest, darkest fears. Nothing has ever hinted at gay. All right. So, all right. Then the one guy goes, they made Iceman gay because he was one of the most liked characters.
How did he say that?
All right. So he goes, Iceman being gay was an idea that was popular on message boards in the 2000s, primarily amongst gay men. Iceman was liked a lot and was an underutilized and underdeveloped character with a somewhat shallow romantic history. So it was the kind of thing that banded about. In 2012, Brian Michael Bendis took over the writing duties of X-Men. Now people swear the Ultimate Spider-Man and Daredevil are good, and I know that Alias is good, but every single other comic I have read by Bendis have been terrible. His Avengers run was not good. His Guardians of the Galaxy was almost painful. Avengers versus X-Men is one of the worst comics I have ever read, and almost always 1 second away from ranting about how terrible it is. And his X-Men run is just so bad, so terrible, so terribly bad. It certainly isn't helped by the fact that it was spun off Avengers versus X-Men, and so was starting from a truly arthrotic what? Some shit beginning. But even after 40 some issues, he still hadn't
Spell the word?
at Rose Shitters. ATROCIOUS. Atrocious. Okay, there you go. A truly atrocious beginning. Sometimes you gotta say it out loud a couple times for you to understand what's happening. Yo, don't make me. Yo, don't make
shitters.
Astro Chitters. Yo, because at row shitters. That's if you break down the word. If you break down the word the way you sound it out, that's what it is. Sometimes you got to sound it out different ways to get to where you're going. Don't make me fucking kill somebody and fake my own death and go in the basement and wait for these fucking aliens. All right? Atrovidus beginnings. But even after 40-some issues, he still hadn't done much of anything. There was no plot in either of his books. All right, let's get to the fucking point. The inciting incident of both series was the best pull of the original 5 X-Men out of the time of Comfort Cyclops over how he changed, and then it just sort of hung around. The plot didn't move forward at an inch after 40. Jesus fucking Christ. And here's the thing. I like the idea of Iceman being gay. I think it works. I think it adds some much needed diversity to the original 5 X-Men. I just think he did it in the worst possible way. And it's basically Iceman going, but I think this is Jean Grey. I don't know if this is Jean Grey. And she goes, you know, and he goes, what? Come on. And then he goes, what's happening? Bobby, you're gay. This is not good. Having Jean Grey out him simply because she is an insensitive troll is not good writing. It doesn't deal with any of the issues over outing people and certainly doesn't make sense with any of Jean's characterizations prior to Banner's run. And it doesn't square at all with Bobby's complicated relationship with Emma Frost.
Yeah. So I found a new different thing from Vox.
Okay.
Where one of the conflicts is that for some reason there's 2 Icemen. The younger Iceman is gay, but his older version of himself is not. And this is from the all new X-Men number 40 back in April 2015.
Okay. Now listen to this shit. Somebody said that Jean Grey used her powers to make Iceman gay. And then it goes,
what?
Yeah, it goes, a lot of kids, heck, even some adults find it hard to admit even to themselves that they are gay due to how gays are not really accepted everywhere and is not social norm. Jean is a mind reader. Thus, how this was revealed makes sense. You don't have to like it, but it wasn't stupid when it sounded like a logical application of this fictional superpower of telepathy into the real world scenario. A gay kid who is struggling with what he or she is. If I'm wrong, explain why it's stupid exactly in or whatever. It goes,
no. So before you get into that, I got a little bit more context.
Oh well, there's no proof here. He just put that shit in there. Somebody else. I thought there was like a thing of the comics or something.
So I actually have the thing in the comics. In Uncanny X-Men number 600, the younger Iceman confronts the older version of himself to find out what all this shit's going on. And that's when we come to find out that Bobby Drake has been living in the closet his entire life, and he found a way to suppress that part of him.
So the original Iceman is gay, according to the new Iceman?
So the original Iceman has been gay this whole time and just lived in a closet so long that he suppressed that part of himself. Jean Grey outed the younger one. And then when the younger one confronted the older one was like, nah, I'm like that too. I've been this way.
Okay.
So to answer your question why he didn't like Jean Grey, there you go.
Some dude said Iceman already kind of sort of tried to come out as gay in the 90s.
Could have been possible.
Said it is interesting to comic book fans who grew up reading X-Men comics, perhaps not because it's astonishing or new or uncanny, but maybe because it represents the return of a plotline that creeped up in a little remembering almost very special issue of Uncanny X-Men published in 1994, more than 20 years ago. First, let's familiarize ourselves with the weeks, whatever. Uh, don't do that. Sorry, but stop. You're thinking it right now. Stop it. Wait, this is the comic book run. I'm not. You are. I'm thinking it because you keep saying it. I said it because you were thinking it. Shush, no. It doesn't matter to me or anyone else. It's just
But
shush. That's the new comic. The young,
that's the young one talking to who? Jean Grey?
yeah. When Jean
Oh,
Grey is forcing him to say that he's gay.
but you know what's funny? I don't. You know, make the character what you want, right? At this point, in today's climate, they're gonna do whatever they want with the characters. But they already had North Star, who's been gay this entire time. He's literally the first gay X-Men. He had his wedding where he married his husband in the comics. Like,
Yeah.
do you even know who North Star is?
No.
Like, why are we not? All right, maybe you need a star or some shit for the PR of it all, but you have a character already to push the
Yeah.
character to the fucking forefront.
So listen, he goes, even as a kid, I remember thinking that number 319 was a weird comic. It took place in this 2-issue lull between the last big X-Men crossover, the dreadful Phalanx Covenant. I don't know, aka the X-Men fight to the Borg of Star Trek. What? I don't know. And the build up to the next X-Men crossover is still awesome to this day, Age of Apocalypse. The comic before it, issue 318, concerned itself with mapping up the mess of the Phalanx crossover, checking in on newly battled scarred characters, and shipped Jubilee off to a new school where she couldn't annoy the X-Men anymore, and the next crossover wasn't kicking off until issue 320, leaving the lonely issue of 319 to tell the trio of short character vignettes. A story about Angel and Psylocke gets the cover issue because kissing, but the most interesting one by far concerns Iceman and Rogue. In fact, it kicks off the issue with the impressive visual by artist blah blah blah. So it's just Iceman. She's been called Rogue for almost as long as she's been remembered. Certainly before she's ever even heard of the X-Men. The term of superpowered mutant of which she is currently a member. Ta-da! So Rogue, what do you think? I think it's breathtaking sugar. I don't know what he's in a suit. I don't know how this makes him gay. Unless he made this. Okay. I can't read those little shits.
I don't know how that. I don't know. So he made a. How does that make him gay?
Yeah, untapped potential. Just see, I used to come here as a kid. Me and my dad, mom wasn't a big fan of his after dinner cigar. Dad, all right. A man doesn't get anywhere in this world by dreaming. Boy, by making these castles in the sand. My dad would have charmed her. How old were you? How old were you when you realized he was wrong? Whoever said he was wrong. Does that make him gay?
I don't know.
We found out later in the issue the subtext of this scene isn't so much sub as it is literally text. Bobby had brought Rogue to have dinner with his parents, despite the fact that Bobby has never spent any time with Rogue and has never really shown interest in doing so. Rogue even comments on this during They drive to Bobby's parents' house, and the implication that Rogue is there because she is the most visually acceptable woman in the X-Men. The story is largely about Bobby's father and the effect that it had that his father's bigotry and small-minded worldview had on Iceman. Bobby and Rogue show up to dinner, and Bobby's mother is pleasant, but his father immediately comments on how he's happy to see that Bobby's new girlfriend isn't Asian. At this point in the comics, Bobby's previous girlfriend was an Asian woman by the name of Opal. And
Okay, so I get what they're saying here. Is that if you take the story at face value, it's just him bringing somebody home and dealing with the bigoted father. But underneath is he brought a girl home, and the whole classic, like when the lesbian brings a girlfriend. Oh no, this is just my roommate shit.
yeah,
Like he brought her just to keep up appearances. So that's how it was hinted at.
yeah, it says, and while Bobby's homosexuality is only present in this story via implication, that implication may have been strong enough to influence Bryan Singer when he constructed this notable scene from X-Men 2.
Now I watched X-Men 2. I didn't see nothing. But then again, I probably didn't understand what I was looking at.
All right, so the scene is when they were in the house with Wolverine and everybody. He's sitting next to Rogue, and his mom is talking to him.
Yeah. When they said Wolverine was the gym teacher or some shit like that, or history.
Yeah. Hold up. She goes, when did you first know you were? And then Torch cuts her off and says a mutant.
Oh, so they use a mutant to cover for the question she really wanted to ask him.
Yeah, and then the father's like, we thought he was going to school for the gifted. And she goes, he is gifted. He's like, yeah, we didn't realize he was a... And then she cut him off. And she goes, the mutant problem is a little... And they keep cutting him off.
Come to think of it, like I said, I probably didn't understand it. But you would know if he was a fucking mutant if the kid's making ice when he's young.
Yeah. He turned coffee into ice. And the brother's like, he's fucking gay, and he ran out.
I always thought that scene was weird because it's like,
wait, it's weird because she goes, have you tried not being a mutant? Which most people like, have you tried not being gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that's even weirder. I mean, now that puts in a little bit more perspective because I always thought it was weird. It's like, yo, so did Xavier know and he just came and got him before his powers developed? Like, how did they know to bring him to the mutant school? Somebody should have known he was a mutant, but now it has nothing to do with him being a mutant.
Okay. So basically he goes, Bryan Singer has spoken publicly that he feels the experience of being gay and coming out is analogous. Is, I guess, the same to how mutant must feel in the X-Men universe when they come out, and that the above scene is inspired by that. In fact, pointing out the general parallel between homosexuality and the X-Men is what convinced Ian McKellen to play Magneto. Is Ian McKellen gay?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's been his whole life. Like, he was never trying to hide that. And that puts a whole new spin on most of the X-Men shit, because I've always viewed it as a race thing.
Yeah. So it goes by the end of issue 319. Although Bobby makes no statements regarding his sexuality, he nevertheless declares himself ready to leave his father's limited worldview behind and start expressing himself more fully. Unfortunately, the X-Men universe gets reset only 3 issues later. And when it goes back to normal 6 months after that, Iceman's story shifts focus to Rogue and some boring secret she's keeping about Gambit. So Bobby's sexuality doesn't really get explored anymore.
Okay, so now there's some context to it, and it wasn't just a drastic, oh, let's change it now. There was some groundwork laid before.
Yeah, but see, this is the crazy shit. It's like, because the video I saw, they were like, oh, everybody wanted Jean Grey except for Iceman. We'll get to that later. And then it's one of those like, why? What did Jean Grey do to Iceman that he didn't like her?
But now, apparent again, it could have just been that back then it wouldn't make sense for everybody to swoon, because I think Iceman was still like the youngest one, or one of the younger ones. So depending on how old they drew him, he probably wouldn't have given that much of a shit about girls in general. But then they retconned it for it to be this.
Okay, yeah. So he was the youngest member of the original X-Men. So he was probably 13 or 14. Figuring that it's been 15 years since the team first came together makes Iceman close to 30.
Yeah, so he originally thinking he wouldn't have even cared about that.
Yeah. Then again, I guess they just try to imply that he was gay, but it makes sense that he wouldn't be interested in Jean Grey as a kid. You know?
Yeah.
And then it said that he had a relationship with Emma Frost, where Emma Frost literally inhabited his body or something.
I don't know. Emma Frost is another fucking. She's no hero at all.
In Uncanny X-Men 314, Iceman's body was possessed by the mind of Emma Frost. Emma had been left in a coma after a battle with the Sentinels, and she cared little for returning to her own body. Instead, concentrated primarily with finding out what had happened to her students, the Hellions. Yeah, so she just possessed Jesus. Emma Frost proved Iceman's powers can make him a mutant god.
Yeah, he's supposed to be an Omega level mutant.
Well, he can freeze the entire planet.
And see, so I'm gonna go back to this point where you look up other shit.
Yeah.
You want to make Iceman gay? Cool. I keep saying on this nuance and context. Got a little bit more nuance. Got a little bit more context. There's a clear pathway from the beginning to get here. Cool. Doesn't bother me. I'm cool with it. But why are we not pushing Northstar, who literally has a fucking? Let me bring that back up again. He literally has the cover of his marriage.
On Astonishing X-Men number 51. They
Yeah.
showed it. Yeah,
So
I remember.
why are we not pushing him to have more than one? Bobby could be gay too. Like there's not a limited number that you can have. But why are we not pushing his ass up too?
Word.
It's kind of like in wrestling when they're like, "Oh, we got to do the fucking like the elimination chamber," and you get like 3 new guys, but the other 3 guys are Randy Orton and fucking Seth, and it's all the same motherfuckers.
Yeah. So North Star is speed also?
Yeah, I think he flies, right?
Yeah. They were saying he might be quicker than Quicksilver.
Well, yeah. Here's the funny thing: for a world where everybody's supposed to be, different mutations and all that shit and different power, there's a lot of similar fucking powers. But I guess that only makes sense because a lot more than just me have blue eyes.
Yeah. Just so everybody's saying that North Star is a hell of a lot quicker than Quicksilver. So Quicksilver is faster than a speeding raccoon. From what I'm seeing.
I think he breaks the sound barrier. That's like his top speed.
So
But Speedball is supposed to be faster than that. He's like Marvel's Flash.
nah. That's crazy. I mean, you don't really need to go that fast in certain situations unless you're trying to go back in time and get Michael Keaton. Which I don't think.
But everybody's fast, so.
Yeah, I don't think you needed them to get Michael Keaton. I think he could have been Batman whether you asked him to do it or not. You know? Could have got Sacha Baron Cohen.
Can you imagine that motherfucker's Batman?
The Batman who laughs?
I'm a Batman. Very nice.
The Batman who laughs?
You know what? I'm down for that. I think, isn't he going to be somebody?
Yeah. MCU?
Yeah, I don't know if that was rumor or not. I'm checking it out right now.
As Mephisto.
Yeah, he's rumored to be Mephisto and Ironheart. But, if you watch New Rockstars, Mephisto's been behind every fucking Marvel show.
Yeah. Mephisto's the reason why She-Hulk sucked. Full circle, baby. Full circle. We're going to start with that shit and we're going to end with that shit. Fuck around and find out. Well, I guess that's a good place to end it. Right?
Yeah, hey. In the paraphrased words of Snoop Dogg when it comes to Professor X, murder was the case that they gave him, and they actually found him guilty. He's guilty.
Yeah, we found him guilty. He's a piece of shit. And I don't know how he's running the X-Men. Someone needs to go in that basement and get this motherfucker.
Yo. Goddamn, I can't stand these kids. Jim, shoot yourself. These kids are annoying me.
I need time for them to leave me alone. Shoot yourself. We're the aliens.
Yo, can you imagine? Can you imagine a dad who's like that? Dad's like, I gotta fucking use the bathroom. Hey, John. God, we're just like, Dad, no. He's like, oh, wait, no. Dad's in the bathroom again.
Who are these people? They just keep killing. We don't have no more room in the backyard.
To wait for an alien invasion.
In private. You think
No,
you would tell
no, here's the
your
question.
team?
They said he was in the basement. This is before Cerebro, right? In the
Yeah.
danger room. Because you would think if Cerebro's in the basement, shitty ass hiding place.
Yeah.
Everybody goes down there.
He's in the war room just chilling. Fucking Wolverine's out there smelling Charles, and the Cerebral just fucking like, oh well, get a Sentinel out here.
Yo, what that? I gotta look more into that. Because was Wolverine there? Because again, Wolverine should have been able to be like, that's not him. Everybody relax.
Yeah, I don't know who this fucking guy is, but he's dead, and Charles is in the basement. I can smell it. He's in the basement. He don't want us to fuck around. There's an alien invasion coming. The scent is all over him. And while we wait for an alien invasion to come on, to come in the MCU, it's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead signing out. Peace, everybody. Stop fucking around. Scan that QR code. And go fuck yourself.
Pro, I'll see you on Monday, Pro.
Yeah.